Hello and happy Pi Day. I was scouring Logic Master Germany, as I do sometimes, and I stumbled across this puzzle. I wasn't originally planning to make a video for today, but this is a variant I've never seen before. This puzzle is called Pi Colombian Sudoku by Xavier Castle. So, Xavier seems to be a big fan of Colombian Sudokus, and I'll just explain the rules so we'll know how it works. We need to complete the Sudoku on the left here, um, using normal Sudoku rules, while also using the clues from the grid on the right. Keeping in mind that the numbers on the sides of the grid indicate how many digits in the corresponding row or column must match the completed Sudoku. Good luck. So, we'll use normal Sudoku rules on this left grid and the digits in this right grid. So, for example, here, um, I have a setup over here. So these this four, right? This four dots tell us that there are four digits in this row that are correct. Whereas this three tells us there are three in the row that are correct. This five tells us that five digits in this column are correct. So on and so forth. And that's it. Those are the rules. Let's just jump right into it. All right. Well, if you didn't catch the drift, the the digits across here are in fact the digits of pi. So, I guess the easy bit is we already have 9 7 here, 9 7 here. So these two digits, let's do some color coding. We'll have them be uh, I guess the classic is green and gray, right? So these two being green tell us that 9 7, so 7 definitely can't be correct. We probably should just select all the empty cells and then just make those, or sorry, gray. We should probably select all the empty cells and also mark them as gray. So from there, we have two more digits that need to be correct. Only one of the eights could be correct. Hmm. Five. Five is actually interesting. One second. We have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Maybe not so interesting. Seven distinct digits to work with. Actually, we know zero digits here are good. So none of these. So we have to make sure that, like in the puzzle, that I guess it makes sense. None of these can be nine. This couldn't be four. Hmm. Oh well. Okay. Sorry. I've completely missed this. The green here, for the two, is important. Then 159. This is not going to work. None of these are going to work. None of these are going to work. So we should gray all of them out. Then, hmm. You might be wondering how I can select multiple things at the same time. I actually have another copy of the Sudoku off to the right here, and that is just for color coding purposes. There's a copy of the Sudoku under here with the extra bits, the Colombian Sudoku part, but you can't actually color code on it. So I have a separate copy that I'm using. Um, hmm. How do we? Well, sorry, if this 9 is correct, which we might as well just match the color coding in here, right? These two, that means that none of the nines across can be correct. We need four different digits to be correct. Oh, no, okay, sorry. 4 7, not 5. 4 7 3 1 9. That would be really valuable, but not gonna happen here. I guess the 9. So again, we should be using Sudoku. If we know 9 and 7 are correct, we know that this can't be 9. If we know 2 is correct, then sorry, gray. So four things need to be correct across here. 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess because we've gotten rid of the 4. Hmm. So most of these belong here. Yeah, the biggest problem is I don't, because I'm not familiar really with this variant, it's making it very hard to figure out how to progress properly. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, wait a second. I'm not thinking about this one, am I? 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. That means all of these are green, and one of these will be correct. So that means in the puzzle, this must be 2, one of these 2. Oh, we know which one has to be 3. This must be, there we go, delete that. This is gray. So these are our 2 things that are correct, and then 4, 5, or 3, 4, 5 are correct here. This is going to be 7, which means, okay, that doesn't affect anything, but what does that do for us here? I have something in the way of my monitor. Give me a second. Should have worried about that beforehand. The 4 here means it's only 5 or 9. Only one more of these can be correct. See, I don't know how I missed that. That was an easy bit there. Oh, well then, sorry. Of course, 3 and 2. This 3 says that none of these 3's can be correct, right? And this 2 says this 2 cannot be correct. So that eliminates some options. 5, 8, 9, 7. Oh, 9 by Sudoku says this can't be correct, which means it must be 5, 8, 7. Oh no, 3. Sorry. Let's not forget. We already have a 3 here. So 5, 8, 7. 2 of these 3 will be correct, but I don't know which. And also, I'm clearly not maintaining my color coding here, so let's just get rid of that entirely. Hmm. Oh well. Again, let's use Sudoku here. 5 exists here, so this cannot be 5. 1, 5, 9. 9. Already said that. 2, 9. Column row. 3. Column row. 1. Column row. 5. Column row. Same thing here. 9. All right, I think we might have addressed everything else. 5, 8. Oh no, just as I say that, 6, 8 here eliminates 6, 8 as options here. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these all have to be green, and then one of these 2 sevens is correct. Should I color it blue? Let's flash it as well, just so we remember. So this has to be 1, 9 here, 5 here, and then one of these 2 is 7. Do we want to pencil mark that? I don't know if we need to. Um, so then now let's use this. 1 here being correct says this can't be 1. And that's it. It just says that that can't be 1. 9, 5. Doesn't really help, does it? Hmm. Ah, 4, 6 must be correct because only one of the two eights can be correct. I don't know which one of these yet, but it does mean this is 4, this is 6, and then again, one of these two is 8. One of these two is 8. Yeah, one of these two is a possible 8. Then 1, 1. Hmm. Oh, Sudoku. Oh no, 9. Never mind. 9 goes here. 8, 6, 8. Oh well, 8. Green says this cannot be 8. We need 4 things to be correct. So 6, 8, and one of the 9. So this is definitely 6. One of these two is 2, and one of these two is 9, which means, actually, if one of these two has to be 9, then that tells us that this cannot be 9. So that there cannot be 9. 6 is green. Row column doesn't do anything. Box. One of these two and one of these two. 8, 5. That's 4 different things that could be correct. Only 2 things are allowed to be correct here. Either 5 or 9. Hmm. Oh, only one thing can be correct across here. 2, 8, 8. Which might mean that this has to be green? I don't know that. I don't know that. Yeah, this is a very interesting variant. 4 things. Oh, sorry. This 4 being correct says this can't be 4, which means this has to be 8. And if this is 8, this cannot be 8, which means this is 8. So 4, 8, we get 8 here. That actually gives us 8 here, which doesn't really restrict us, but we're good there. Then, well, let's just do Sudoku. What are we missing here? 1 and 5? Uh, let's let's think about this for a second. 1, 5, 8. Only one of these ones at most can be correct. 4, 5, right? Hmm. We've satisfied this clue. This clue is almost satisfied. Either 5 or 7 is correct. Only one of these ones at most can be correct. 2, 4, 3. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this has to be 3. And if this is 3 here, this cannot be 3. And what does that do? Otherwise, this 3 Yeah, eliminated that, but doesn't seem to do much otherwise. 265, 323, 5 pair. 1, 2. 2 goes in one of these two squares. Threes, fours, yeah, fives. 5 in one of these two, which means one of these two is 5. Oh, we need 4 of these to be correct. Sorry. So 6 has to be correct. This has to be 6. And this 6 doesn't do much, but one of these 5s is going to be correct. And if that is correct, then this would be 5 here, respectively. And that would force this to be 5, making this 1. And we'd have a 1, 2 pair here. Five or 7. Hmm. I don't know if it makes sense to like pencil mark the possible digits. That might be valuable, and we just pencil mark those. It's a bad use of center marks, but 7, 5, 5 is still possible, but just so we can look at the digits on here. 3, 8, 2, 5, 4, 9, 9. We actually could have done that at the same time. This is 2, this is 7. 2, 2, 3, 9. 3, 1, 4, 7, 1, 1. All right. Those are our pencil mark options. I'm sorry I'm not being very vocal here. I'm very much struggling to see the right pattern. 9. We know one of these 9s is definitely correct, which means 9 will definitely go in one of these 3 cells, which means 9 has to go here. All right. What that does for us is places 9 in one of these 2 cells. Mhm. 7, 6, 4. Only 2 of these are needed. Right, there has to be just like one more piece that once we find it, it'll open things up. One of these two is 7. Why is that helpful? That is helpful because 7 gets restricted here. All right. What do we need across? We need 4, 5, 7, 9, right? 4, 5, 7, 9. 4 has to go in one of these two cells, which means, actually, if 4 has to go in one of these two cells, this has to be a 4-5 pair. Just like a normal pair here, which means this has to be a 7-9 pair, which leaves us with what? 1, 2, 5? 4, 5 means 7 and 6 certainly have to go here, which we already knew, I guess. Hmm. Yeah. It's challenging to like visualize this, excuse me, in the right way. And I feel like if we just pencil mark too much, we're going to get lost. 3, 4, 7, 8, right? Where does 8 go in the column? There we go. Where does 8 go in the column? Easy. This is 8. And if this is 8, that means that it's gray, which means this is green, which means this is just a normal 7. And if this is a normal 7, then that counts for 2 of 3 here. Otherwise, now 6, 1, what was it? 3, 4, I said. So this must be 4, this must be 3. And 4 gives us 5, gives us 4, which means this is gray, this is green. And then 7, 6 is literally a 6, 7 pair with, we'll actually corner mark 7 there. Oh, well, 8, 2, 9, sorry, now has to be fully green. So this must be 2. This must be 9, which means this cannot be 9. Let's gray that out. Then, hmm, only one more of these can be green here. Select them in, in both grids at the same time. 1, 2, 5. Not 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 5. With 5 there. This obviously can't be 2. What was this? Sorry, 1, 5, 9, right? Oh, where does 9 go? This is simply 9. That being 9 doesn't actually do anything, but we do get a 1, 5 there. If this is 5, this would be 1. This would be 5, which means that's 7. See, there's a lot of things that cause like a chain reaction, but we shouldn't have to look super far ahead to solve this. So, two of these three sets must be correct. Theoretically, it could be neither of the ones. Theoretically, 1, 2, 4 is what we're missing here. Hmm. This being 2. Yeah, this isn't very good pencil marking, if I'm going to be perfectly frank. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7. Obviously, nothing is going to clash there. We have a few 6s. Is there any considerations here with plain old Sudoku? Considering 9, but obviously 9's in the X-wing here. 7 just the same. Oh wait, sorry. If this 4 is correct, we've known that for a while. This can't be 4, which means this is gray. And that tells us that 2 or 3, one of these is correct. How does that help? Tells us 2 of these 3 must be correct. Oh, 5. This can't be 5. It is 5 here by Sudoku. This can't be 5. Wow. Staring me right in the face, folks. Absolutely crazy here. This is 3. This is 8. What that means is we've accounted for all of these. This can't be 3 or 1. Oh, which means this is 4. That is green, which means this 2 is gray. That can no longer be 2. Which means the 3 must be correct here. Which means one of these 2 is correct. 9 has to be green. Only one of these 2 can be correct. Oh, and if theoretically before we could say that both of these could be correct, but actually we know that I would say we know that's not possible, but that's not true. We could satisfy the requirements with that as our setup, right? Otherwise, if we do something like this, we would need to have one here and one there. As long as you have one extra thing here, which means you could have an X-wing if the 7 is correct, right? But if the 5 is correct, because we're limited to only one more thing here, both of these would have to be it. 5 is correct. 5 is here. We got a few more digits. Something has to do it. This is 3 by Sudoku. 1, 5, 6, 7. These can't be 1 or 5, so this has to be a 6, 7 pair. This is from the set 1 or 5. 7. This is obviously going to be 4. Then 1, 5, 2, 7. 7 will be one of these two cells, but that's not really helpful. 1, 2, 7 here tells us what? This is 1, 2, and 4. 2, 4. Oh, which means this can't be 2. If this is a 1, 2, 4 triple, this can't be 2. If that's the case, this, wrong color. If that's the case, this must be 2. If that's 2, then 1, 4 pair leaves us with 5, 7. And 5, 7, and 8. This must be 7 then. This must be 5. This must be 8. 5. 5 says this can no longer be 5, which means the 1 must be correct here. This cannot be correct because we've now satisfied that, and the 7 here must be correct. So this must be 7. That gives us 6. This cannot actually be 5. So let's remove that as an option. This has to be 1. Wait, how can both of these ones be correct? Oh, because I've colored this wrong. That's it. That's the only thing. 1 says this can't be 1. And theoretically, unless I've missed any digits here, we should be able to fully resolve this Sudoku. This is 7. This can't be 4. 1, 2, 2, 5. So where's the bit there? There we go. This is 2. 2. 2. Oh, 9. 9. 9. 7, 9. 1, 5. We're still missing 6 and 8. 6, 8. Here we need 2 and 3. Across we need 1 and 4. Lots of X-wing. Oh, okay. I was gonna say lots of X-wings that seem like they might turn into deadly patterns, but no. This cell is not allowed to be 1. If it's not allowed to be 1, it must be 4, which actually sets the order there. 1, 4, 1, 2, 4. This is 1. This is 5. This is 2. 5, 5, 1. 6, 7 doesn't help us here, but it probably will help us. 7, 2. Oh, no, okay. 2, 7. 6, 7. Here we need 6 and 3. And finally, to finish us off, we have 5 and 1. And now you can see my my two scenes here. Um, we're done with Pi Colombian Sudoku by Xavier Castle. That took us 32 minutes. It would have been nice if it took us 31 minutes and 41 seconds, but we were off by just a tad. So hopefully you enjoyed that Pi Day Sudoku, and thank you for watching.